All right, let's see what they got. See what they came up with.
And how to polish that into what we believe is a professional quality guitar. And so what we're seeing here is this orange sort of heat, and this actually represents analysis of thousands of well-mixed guitars. And we've determined that this is the ideal tone of a guitar. And then you can very quickly have a tone matching control that uses both static EQ and our sculptor to sort of move this more to the target.
That's incredible. Excited because this is actually shipping in July is the new 12 mic Dante. This is a 12 channel high resolution mic preamplifier with Dante in and out, and as well as MIDI in and out and ADAT out. So this can be an expansion to an install, to a live sound rig, to your studio with either Dante MIDI or ADAT. Now you can easily control your mic pre by simply tapping on a channel, and over here this is your channel, your phantom power, send it to the microphone, send it to the headphones, turn up your gain. So super easy to use. Now over here on the left is control software, so we can control it remotely over IP. If we're using the web GUI, we also have a MIDI over MIDI controller. So
here on the Piano de Voyage booth.
Exactly, yeah. Welcome.
So talk us through, you've got a snap together, fully weighted keyboard, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you see right there, we have the first version we're currently selling. It's not fully weighted, this one, but it's very light. And the idea is that you can detach the modules like this, and you can fit it in a backpack, or we also have a case like this in which you can fit the entire keyboard and travel with it, right? So if you come a little bit over there, we have the fully weighted version, which is brand new, and we are going to open pre-orders this summer for this version. And I'm going to show you the mechanism. So we have these pins right there. You put them together, and then you screw. And the really cool thing is that once it's assembled, it can hold on a stand.
Oh wow, amazing. So do you have a which, you know, to some guitarists might look familiar, but they don't usually see this sort of thing on the floor, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's the unmistakable look of a Bigsby system, but yeah, this one is digital.
Okay, cool. So talk us through exactly what's happening and what we can hear from it.
So I mean, like. This pedal, the most obvious use case for this pedal is like this pedal allows you to get the Bigsby and vibrato arm functionality on hardtail guitars, as well.
Entropy and Sons booth.
That
right?
is correct.
And you've got a video synthesizer.
It is a video synthesizer. That is accurate.
So talk us through what this is and what it can do, because we can see some really beautiful visuals up here.
Yeah, so it's a video synthesizer. They're not super common, but we're trying to change that. It's a standalone device that takes a variety of inputs. It has an onboard suite of controls as well, but it outputs a stream of kind of kaleidoscopic, fractalized, psychedelic imagery over USB at 1080p.
So it can accept MIDI, it can accept CV, and it has an audio input jack for audio analysis. It has a couple of touch pads right here, which kind of can be played like drum pads to change some of the parameters, and it kind of makes it dance around a little bit. So the algorithm that's running right now is a feedback algorithm where the previous frames of the animation are combined with some external information to create the current frame. So it's a very self-similar kind of recursive feel, very reminiscent of like classical fractals like the Mandelbrot jewelry set, but with its own kind of character.
So talk us through the kind of development process of this. Is it kind of like inspired by anything in particular, pieces of gear, stuff like that, or?
So the development process has actually been a kind of a long story. It actually started as a software project in my dorm room about 20 years ago. Kind of graduated to a Burning Man project, graduated from there to, we set up at a bunch of house parties and warehouses and small venues in San Francisco. About 4 years ago, we decided to turn the software into a Eurorack module. We kind of pivoted off of that to a self-contained form factor that kind of focus more on discrete controls like MIDI. We feel like kind of discrete events and controls were a little more appropriate than just Eurorack CV.
Hi, Rich.
Hello. How's everybody doing at Sonic State?
We are here on the Casio booth, and you've got a limited edition machine here, right?
Yes, we do. This
Keyboard.
is a CTS1, Casio Tone CTS1, and this is the Flowers and Hearts edition. So, at its heart, it is the CTS1 we know and love. With lots of great sounds. And 61 full-size keys, and a great sounding built-in speaker system that is now made much more beautiful thanks to the artwork of Romero Brito. He's a renowned Brazilian artist who's got a very playful style that plays with bright, vivid colors and has themes of joy, love, and happiness, which matches perfectly with Casio Tone, because Casio Tone is all about giving everybody the joy of making music. So this instrument is joy that you can see and hear, and it's every bit as fun to look at as it is to play.
Yep.
So, where do you see this kind of being marketed? Obviously, everyone should have their hands on a keyboard, I think. But
yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm very good.
Now this we have to check out. Now this one we have to bring in the studio and check out as soon as they start shipping it. Let's see.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Very good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, what have you got at the Neve? What's going on at the Neve booth?
Okay, so during this NAMM Show, it's the first time we managed to get out in the past 2 years, so it's really good to be back, good to see people. We've had an incredibly busy few days, which has been fantastic because we are launching the Neve 88M here. This is our first audio interface and 2-channel mic preamp with technology that comes directly from the 88R console. So transformer balance front end, very high quality ADC and DAC chipsets, and basically plug and play. Allows you to get really high quality sound in your home studio system.
So yeah, what sort of features has it got?
Okay, so we have mic line and DI inputs on the front, 2 channels. We can toggle through and select the inputs really easily. All of those inputs feed through the transformer as well, so you're getting very high quality sound for any instrumentation you're using. We've got balanced inserts at the back as well, so you could add a compressor or an EQ into the chain, or even a loop pedal. We've got monitor outputs, so you can plug your speaker system into the studio. With a center D10 that's 12 dB below maximum, so it's ideal for calibrating your studio loudspeakers to.
The audio design desk booth, right?
Yes, the audio design desk. We are a brand new DAW that we built from the ground up using the modern advancements of AI and machine learning to help us not only identify sounds, but to place them and then sync them to video as fast as lightning, faster than anything else before.
Great. So you've got a bit of a kind of a bit of a show to give us, right?
Yes, yes. A bit of a show is probably a little bit of an understatement. We're going to have a whole movie here.
Yeah, I've seen you doing this just a second ago, and it was very impressive. So yeah,
okay.
I'm excited to see how it goes down.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. Let's say in this use case, our video editor just sent us a clip of that they cut together of the film Sleepy Hollow. It's a fight scene across a bridge. And as soon as we import it into Audio Design Desk, it recognizes that the video editor actually put in markers in their video editing software saying, let's start with an ambience nighttime, or a hit here, or a transition there. Now, just like any other system, we can bring those in as comment markers, but we can also bring them in as audio markers. And then just by clicking audio, it's auto-populating my entire timeline with audio related to what was written in those markers. Now we're going to play through it, and it might be a little rough because the markers were pretty general, but let's see how close we got. All right, I'm just going to stop it right there. It was decent, but I see there's a lot of synthetic stuff, a lot of stutters coming through, so we're going to clean it up a little bit. And now to clean it up, the first thing I want to do is I want to change this rise. Now I'm going to bring open our magic marker here. And then when I open it, you see that I can cycle through a list of similarly related rises, or I can get really specific. I could say this is a horror film, and we want this to be very intense. And then I can select a rise, I can preview it, and I can say, you know what, that one sounds great, we're gonna press return, and it's now on my timeline. And it's that easy.
Focal booth, right?
Yes, sir. NAMM 2022.
So talk us through the new developments for this year.
Yeah, so we've been making the Solo 6 and Twin 6, which you can see here. The previous version of these have been out for 15 or 16 years. So they've been around a really long time. Top sellers of ours. Yep. A lot of huge records have been recorded, mixed, or mastered on these guys.
I want a pair of them.
And we really felt it was time that we could make them a little bit better. It's been a long time. We've developed a lot of cool technology in the analog world to help us improve the acoustic response of the speaker. So we're super excited to announce a new Solo 6, a new Twin 6, and then a new big brother or sister sub called Sub 12. It was a 4-year R&D process. It's been a long time in the works, but we wanted to respect and honor kind of the tradition of the previous Solo 6 and Twin 6 because they are so widely used and widely known. So we kind of kept the overall look familiar. We modernized it a bit, beveled the edges of these cabinets.
Hey, how's it going? We are here on the Soundtoys booth. You've got a lovely vintage mini mode, which is obviously what attracted me over here.
Of course, not the plugins, not the plugins.
But you're kind of processing it, so do you want to just talk us through what's going on here?
Yeah, well, we're basically, we've got the Model D here, using it as a source to show off our plugins. So right now, we're showing off Effect Rack, which is our sort of a host for all of our individual plugins, or at least 14 of them. And right now, we've got a pretty simple patch. We've been doing some sort of crazier sound design stuff, but at least right now, we're just showing off Decapitator, which is one of our flagship saturation products, and then Filter Freak, which actually the 4-pole setting on the Filter Freak, I'm pretty sure this is right, was actually based off of the Moog filter. So I may get my friend Adam here to play a little synth for you. We've also got a little plate on here, which is our most recent product, and it's based off the EMT 140. One thing that is cool about this is that we actually increase the decay range all the way out to infinity. So it can be a really cool plug-in to do bigger pad stuff, as well as just kind of classic plate sounds. So I'll let Adam play a little, and yeah.
So maybe.
Hi there, how are you? This is Orba 2. This is Artiphon's brand new synthesizer, looper, controller, and handheld instrument. And we like to say that we've put every sound imaginable in the palm of your hand. It can be as simple as just tapping a few notes on the piano. You notice how when I tilt, the sound changes a bit. You can play a whole string orchestra in the palm of your hand. And you can even sample any sound that you find out in the world, out in nature. So if you had a squeaky duck or even your bike bell, all of these things can be turned into an instrument. So now we have our bike bell turned into a musical instrument.
Awesome. And what kind of sample memory does it have?
It has 4 gigabytes of sample memory, which is a huge upgrade on Orba 1, which we debuted at NAMM 2 years ago. So there's really so much more for creators to play around with, both with the dozens of factory sounds and samples that we're putting on the device and the ones that you'll make yourself. There's just a ton you can do.
You're going to show us the second product, right?
Yes, so we released the Mark II version of the ID44 audio interface. So the ID44 Mark I was our flagship audio interface. This one is now matches the Mark II line. So we released the ID4 and ID14 Mark II last year, and now this is bringing it up into that realm. So the ID44 is a 4-channel audio interface. You have 4 Audient console mic pre's, each with individual phantom power, a pad and low-pass filters, high-pass filters, sorry. This is a bit more of a professional offering compared to a normal interface. So you have inserts, you have digital I/O, so you can expand.
What does that mean, Sean?
Yeah, so we love recording, we love studio, we love audio. There's so much gear I love, I can't even begin to list it all. And there's a theme that I appreciate with all the gear that I love. And of course, vintage sound. And vintage sound is doesn't just mean old, it just means every era kind of had those standout pieces of gear. And why were those standout pieces? Because they did something different. They used the technology at the time, and they made the best product that they could for the technology that was available at the time. And that's everything from transformer preamps in the 60s and 70s, that's digital stuff in the late 80s, early 90s, that's pretty cool. Obviously, old school 50s tube equipment is really cool too. So every era has its kind of standout things. And what we try to do at Craneborne, we want to make modern products that use modern technology, modern components, but to create vintage sound. So using the best stuff that's available today, but with the ethos of trying to create, shall we say, a modern classic. And a great example of kind of what we've set out to achieve actually is right in front of me. This is our 500 R8. So 500 R8 is, well, it's kind of complicated, but the simplest way I can say is it's a studio in a box. So with one 4U box, you have a complete studio. This is an 8-slot high current 500 series rack, so you can host all your favorite analog 500 series modules. But it's also a 28 input, 30 output USB audio interface, an analog summing mixer, a full monitor controller, and an artist mixing setup as well, an artist distribution system for monitoring, all in one box. So with one cable, with one USB cable, you can record 8 channels through your favorite 500 series modules, all with high quality conversion, reference grade quality. You can also use, during the mixing phase, change the source selects here to USB, now run through your modules again, analog sum, get all back into your computer analog summed with all that analog warmth, and again with one cable, with simplicity, no difficult patching, no complicated setup with software mixers, no complication of levels and matching gear. It's in one box, one cable, and it just works. And that kind of, I think the 508 kind of really embodies what we try to do. What do people want to do now? What are people trying to do? What makes the difference to your recordings and to your recording kind of setup? And that's what we try to do. We try to make something that matters to people now.
So what are the elements that you have in there?
So yeah, the 500. You mean the 500 series models that we have in?
Yeah.
So the first 2 slots here. This is our Camden 500. So this is the very first product that we came out with at Craneborne Audio. It's a 500 series module. It's a preamp, but it does a mic preamp. It does line level signals, and it also does high Z, as in guitar DIs, bass DIs. So it's a one-stop shop. And what makes the Camden special is that it's one of the cleanest, most transparent preamps in existence at any price. There are preamps that cost 3-4 times as much as a Camden that tout transparent performance that don't quite achieve what the Camden achieves. And again, great example of our modern approach to vintage sound. We used the most modern components, the best components that exist today. Most of them are not found in audio equipment, but we used those in an audio circuit to get a result that we wanted to achieve, which was a beautifully transparent, clean preamp, but at the turn of a dial can give you analog saturation with our Mojo control. So Mojo has 2 modes.
We're here with Caitlin at the Zoom stand. How's it going, Caitlin?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine. What stuff have you got to show us at NAMM 2022?
So today I'm going to show you the R20. This is our newest multi-track recorder. So what you can do is record to an SD card, and it allows you to basically record to a DAW without a DAW. So this view here is your track view. It kind of looks similar to GarageBand, the way you would see your waveforms and stuff like that. So you can record audio files, MIDI files with a USB MIDI keyboard, and then you can also add, we do have pre-installed drum tracks here.
Does it have a MIDI input?
It has a USB MIDI input. So it has this USB-C port here. And then right next to that is the SD card slot. You can use an SD card up to 512 gigabytes in storage size, so then you can record as much as you want. We have our 2 speaker outs, and then here is a headphone out. And then this volume control here is...
So hi, Steve.
Hi, Ed.
We're going to have a secondary look at Misha, right?
That's right.
So this is an Eventide product that was announced at Superbooth, and you've got some demos that you wanted to show off, right?
That's right. I wanted to show a different application of Misha. Just a real quick summary. Misha is a interval-based instrument and sequencer, and it's always in the key, like C, and it's always in the scale, like major. And the difference about Misha is rather than playing pitches, it plays intervals. So you can go up 1 step at a time in scale, down 1 step, up 2. And this is what was shown at Superbooth, and as an input to a sequencer. And what I want to show is how you can take these buttons and you can pull them down onto a keyboard and map them with MIDI, so that now the keys are going up 1, down 1, up 2. So basically what I've done is I've mapped all the things that produce sound when you do them to the keyboard. So we're just in C major, and I'm just playing like very simple pattern. I don't know if you can see on here, I have 2 keyboards. The bottom keyboard is the notes I'm playing for real here. So I'm just playing 1 note, and it's just 1 note. But the top keyboard is showing you what the output is. So very simple going in, a little more sophisticated coming out. And I use this for what I call scale surfing. So I can go and let me find a different. I'll find it there. This is a tritone scale, so it's a different kind of scale. Just to hear the scale. And it's instant film music.
That is incredible.